Hey everyone, it's Cecilia Towns, the Sporty Esquire, and I'm here with another episode of Workin Women Wednesday, the series where I tell you what I wish I knew when I first started working. I pull from my experience as an athlete, as an attorney, and as an entrepreneur to make you better than I am or than I was. Yeah, we all want to win. So like I've been telling you for the last couple of weeks, we've been discussing some themes from this year's Women in Sports Mixer, GladiatHers Women in Sports Mixer. Last week we talked about action, just doing it. Week before we talked about running me my money, giving me my coins. Check those videos out if you haven't yet. And so today is going to be our final sort of recap of the mixer, and we're going to be talking about purpose. One of the common questions that I got was, well, how did you know that you should start GladiatHers? Like, how did you know that you needed to do the mixer? One of the panelists, Farlon Toussaint, she also talked about purpose. And so I felt it was a good idea that we talk a little bit about purpose, and more specifically, how you know what you're doing, if what you're doing is aligned with your purpose or it's your purpose, or it's something that you need to say, halt, I need to exit stage left and try another plan. So there's 7 tips. I'm gonna probably move fast in this one. So if you want me to elaborate on something, just drop me a comment and I could do another video. But you know, I like to keep it under 10 minutes. So let's jump right in. The first sign that what you're doing might be aligned with your purpose is that it brings you satisfaction and fulfillment. So, one of the ways I knew when I first started GladiatHers and I started as a blog, one of the ways I knew that this is what I was supposed to be doing was because I would write these posts, these articles, and I didn't care who read them, but I felt good about it. I felt satisfied. I felt like, boom, this is exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. There was no question. You know, I tell people all the time, sometimes it was just only my mama and my daddy who was reading the articles, but that was fine for me because I knew that that's what I should be doing. So that's a sign that you get satisfaction from what you're doing, no matter what other people are doing, no matter what sort of the climate is saying or doing, you get satisfaction from it, as opposed to, you know, not feeling any sort of sense of satisfaction. The second thing is that you feel invigorated as opposed to being burned out. So the mixer this year, it took a lot of hours. Very few people actually know how much time Charlene and I put into the mixer. It's a lot of hours and a little bit of sleep. But the thing that we noticed was that we didn't feel burned out. Like, had we been working on some other things, guarantee I probably would have called it quits, but we didn't. We somehow, even though we got a little bit of sleep, we somehow just felt very, very rejuvenated and energized. And even after it was all said and done, we didn't want to go to sleep immediately. We were like, okay, well, when's the next event? When are we going to work ourselves to death again for women in sports? That's always a sign that what you're doing is aligned with your purpose. If it's burning you out, if you have to drag yourself in to do it or up to do it, and you're just constantly drained, that could be a sign that you need to say, hold up, this might not be for me. Maybe I should be doing something else. The third thing to look at is your passion level. Now, passion and purpose are different. Passion is a feeling that you have, whereas your purpose is, you know, the reason for doing something, why you're on this earth or why you're doing a task. And so when you're walking in your purpose, often there's a passion for what you're doing. So check your passion level. I know that I can talk to you about women in sports until I'm blue in the face, until you pass out and I move on and talk to the next person who will listen to what I'm saying. I have all these ideas about how to get, you know, more support for women in sports and to grow women in sports. And that's because I have a passion about it. Now, talk to me about molecular biology or something like that. And I'm like, bruh, I could care less about it. That's probably a good sign that that's not in line with my purpose. The fourth thing is an ability to focus. One of the ways that I know that what I'm doing with women in sports and the work that I'm doing is my purpose is that I tell you, I kid y'all not, I can literally go for hours and hours straight and do nothing but that. I don't get distracted by my phone. I don't get distracted by hunger. Charlene and I would look up sometimes from planning for the mixer and be like, oh, well, I guess we should eat. It's been the entire morning, like, let's go feed ourselves. Whereas if I'm doing something else, the TV can distract me, social media can distract me, you know, anything, like what I'm gonna eat for lunch, you know, tomorrow can distract me. So for me, and I think for you, if you take a look to see at what's really holding your focus, that could be a sign that yes, this is in line with my purpose, or no, this ain't where it's at. The fifth thing relates to your fruits. So I'm a huge reader of the Bible, and it frequently talks about the fruits that we bear from our work. And that's true in like sort of the regular world. If the work that you're putting in is not producing positive fruits, if you're not changing lives, if you're not seeing progress, if it doesn't bring you joy, because that's also like a fruit, then it might not be your purpose. When you're walking in your purpose, you're gonna bear fruit, and you're gonna bear, you know, wholesome, healthy fruit. You know, if you feel like you're in a dead end, if you constantly feel like you're plugging away and you're not getting anywhere, that could be a sign that you're like beating your head against the wrong brick wall, and that you need to come up for air and figure out another plan. The sixth thing is alignment versus disorder and chaos. So Charlene and I were kind of amazed at how many people really, even if they didn't quite understand what we were doing, they were willing to support us 100% for the mixer. Sponsors came out of the woodworks. People that we didn't even ask to be sponsors volunteered to be sponsors for the event. You know, people were they were buying tickets, they were buying into what we were saying. It just seemed like things were in line and we were just floating along. We were working hard, but like doors just seemed to magically open without us even pushing pushing hard. The alternative is chaos, and things just constantly getting in your way, and there's constant no's, and it's a constant struggle. If that's what you're experiencing, that could be a sign that it's not your purpose. Now, that doesn't mean that when you hit adversity, it's not your purpose, because adversity is undoubtedly gonna come. But it's a constant thing. People are constantly like throwing, you know, stumbling blocks in your way. Let's double check and make sure that that is actually what you're supposed to be doing. And the seventh thing is a level of comfort and contentment versus discontent. So when I say comfort, I don't mean that you're comfortable and never want to elevate yourself or never want to move. What I mean when I say contentment is that you are in a place where you are at peace. Even though you are striving for more, or even though you were working towards something else, you are still at peace. You are still happy and content with where you are, because you understand the process, you believe in it, as opposed to being in a job where you literally hate everything about it and you always want to get out and you always just feel the need to be shifting. If that's where you are, it's a good chance that that's not your purpose. I'm running out of time, but that was the last one. Like I said, if you want to hear more about any of these things or about purpose in general, just drop me a message and I'll get right to it. Again, my name is Cecilia Towns. I'm the Sporty Esquire, and this has been another episode of Working Women Wednesday. Thanks for joining me. Like it, share it, comment on it, and then meet me back here next week. Bye.